Seventh question. Body plot of a stable system shown in figure. The transfer function of the system is. So the plot has been given and we have to find the transfer function of the system. Seeing the plot itself, we can say it is a type 0 system because there is the horizontal line at the initial position of the plot. Suppose if there is a pole at the origin, there will be a downward slope at its initial position of the graph. Otherwise, a 0 at the origin in the sense there will be a upward slope at its initial position. Here we have a horizontal line, so there is no pole and 0 at the origin. So we can now easily omit this option. In all the four options, we have same denominator value. Finding the numerator value is itself enough. To find the transfer function, first I am assuming the numerator value, that is our gain of the system, as k. I am writing the transfer function, the denominator, in time constant form. Time constant form is nothing but 1 plus s form. So for making this s plus 10 as 1 plus s form, we have to take the 10 out. 10 into 0.1 s plus 1. Can take the 10 to the numerator and now the gain of the system becomes k divided by 10. In the plot itself, the magnitude of the function in decibel has been given and we know the formula for magnitude A, that is 20 log of gain is equal to A. A is here 20. So 20 log of k divided by 10, our gain is equal to 20. And this 220 will get cancelled and we'll be having 1 here. Cancelling the log, we use to apply 10 raised to the power on both the sides. So 10 and log will get cancelled. We'll be having a k divided by 10 at LHS and 10 at the RHS. Now k is equal to 100. So our transfer function will be g of s is equal to 100 divided by s plus 10. Eighth question. Okay. If the unit step response of a network is 1 minus e to the power minus 80, then its unit impulse response will be. So the response of a system for unit step input signal has been given here. So this is our output C of t. Response is nothing but our output. So we can write C of t is equal to 1 minus e raised to the power minus 80. We have to find the unit impulse response. That is when the unit impulse signal is given as a input signal, what will be the response of the same system? That's what we are going to find in this. So we have written this C of t. In the first step, we are going to take the Laplace transform of the C of t. So for Laplace transform of 1 is 1 by s and for this it is 1 divided by s plus a. We have taken the LCM for both the things and the C of s is nothing but our same output in Laplace transform. And we know that C of s is equal to G of s divided by R of s. It's nothing but output is equal to open loop transfer function G of s divided by input R of s. C of s is the output of the system when the input is given as, that is R of s given as unit step input. So unit step input is nothing but 1 by s. So if we remove the 1 by s, we'll be getting the G of s as a open loop transfer function. So G of s is equal to A divided by, we have removed the input. So the G of s is A divided by S plus A. So now this is an open loop transfer function and again we are going to apply the unit impulse input for the system and we are going to find the response of it. So C of s is equal to G of s divided by R of s. We know that this is our G of s and R of s is nothing but impulse input. Yeah, that is also unit impulse input. So the magnitude is 1. R of s is equal to 1. So we will be getting the same as a response of the system for unit impulse input. So this is our C of s. Now we are going to take the inverse Laplace transform and that is C of t is equal to A into e to the power minus 80. Next question. The transfer function of the operational amplifier circuit shown in figure is, so the input is EI and output is EO. This circuit consisting of some two stages. The output of the first stage is V of s as well as the input of the second stage is also Vs. First we are going to write the differential equation for the first stage. After this is our first stage. We used to write the KCL at this node. The summation of current at this point is equal to 0, right? So here EI, input voltage divided by R1 input resistance plus output voltage V of S divided by output resistance R2 will give 0. So EI divided by R1 plus V of S divided by R2 is equal to 0. The differential equation for the second stage is Vs divided by plus E out divided by R4 is equal to 0. So we have written some two differential equation for the two stages. From the first equation, we are separating the V of S divided by I of S here. So this will come as minus R2 divided by R1. And from the second equation, we are separating the E out of S divided by V of S and will be getting minus R4 divided by R3. So we need the transfer function of the circuit. Transfer function is nothing but Laplace transform of output divided by Laplace transform of inputs. While multiplying this two, we'll be getting the transfer function as R2, R4 divided by R1, R3. Next question. A feedback system with the characteristics equation as 1 plus k into 1 divided by s into s plus 1 into s plus 2 is equal to 0. Which one is the actual breakaway point of the root locus of the system? So we have to find out the breakaway point. So first we have to find out the characteristic equation from this. After taking LCM, we will be having our characteristics equation like this. For finding the breakaway point, we have to differentiate the k with respect to ds and equate it to 0. For that we need the k first. So we are separating the k like this. So this will become 3s square plus 6x plus 2 equal to 0. So, and we are finding the roots of this. We have some 2 points over here. It is minus 0.423 minus 1.577. So we have some 2 points here. So from this 2, we have to find which one is our breakaway point. For that, first we are plotting the pole 0 plot, and we don't have 0 in this, and we have 3 poles, one at origin, one at minus 1 and another at minus 2. Now we have to draw the root locus. So we should know where the path is, or that is where the root locus is there in this plot. For that we have a condition, that is a point on a real axis lies on a root locus if sum of poles and zeros on the real axis to the right of the point is odd. Okay. So if suppose I am taking the point in between these two poles, to the right we have only one, that is odd number of poles and zeros here. So this is the root locus. So in between these two poles will be having a root locus. At this point the sum of poles and zeros are 2. So it's a even number, so there is no root locus in between this two. Our next root locus will be from this point to infinity. So this point will come here, so there is no root locus at this point, so this will not be our breakaway point. This point 423 lie in between these two poles, so this is our breakaway point. Question: given damping ratio del is equal to 0.6 and undamped natural frequency omega n is equal to 5 rad per second of the system, the peak time Tp of the system is dash when subjected to a unit step input. So we know the formula for peak time, it is Tp is equal to pi divided by omega d, and we know that omega d is omega n into root of minus and we know that omega d is omega n into root of 1 minus del square. So while substituting the value for del and omega, we'll be having our peak time as 0.785. Next question. Select a wrong statement about the negative feedback closed loop system. Before checking into the answer, recall something about positive and negative feedback. For a system given with positive feedback, it improves the gain of the system. The increase in gain will lead the system to unstable condition. Giving a negative feedback to a system make the system less sensitive, reduces the disturbances, increases the bandwidth, it reduces the instabilities, improves the dynamic response. Now we check the answers. Increases the error signal, it's the wrong statement because reduces the disturbance. It reduces the disturbance now automatically. Error signal will be reduced. Next question. For the type 1 second order system, the value of peak overshoot MP is. First, we are writing the unit step response for the second order system, and this is a unit step response for the second order system. The maximum peak overshoot occurs at t is equal to Tp, that is at peak time. The final value of the output is unity, that is also we know. So MP is equal to maximum peak overshoot is equal to response at the peak time minus 1. So it is 1 minus this value. 1 will get cancelled and we'll be having this as our equation now. And instead of T, we are going to substitute Tp because the maximum peak overshoot occurs at peak time only. Substituting pi divided by omega d at Tp. So omega d will get cancelled. Sin pi plus phi will be having after that. So it is sin A plus B form. So sin A cos B plus cos A sin B. In that value of sin pi is 0. So this term will become 0. And here value of cos pi is minus 1. And we'll be having minus sin phi here. Okay, the value of minus sin phi, the value of sin phi, minus will get cancelled. Value of sin phi is equal to 1 minus del square. So this 2 will get cancelled. And instead of omega d, we are substituting omega n into root of 1 minus del square. So omega n will get cancelled. So we'll be getting the peak overshoot as e raised to the power del pi divided by root of 1 minus del square. This is about maximum peak overshoot.